Hi everyone, I'm Vone Kevitz, knit and crochet designer for one-of-a-kind makers who dare to be original. And today I have someone super special because we have a repeat, my very first repeat interview, and it's Sarah Price with Pampered Treasures. Hi Sarah.
Hi, Vone. Thanks
Tell
for
everybody
having
who you
me.
are if they don't remember you.
Well, my name is Sarah, and I am on my third adventure now with Pampered Treasures. And I started with knit and crochet, did some social media management, and now I'm into bath bombs and goodies.
Sarah, this is why I absolutely love you. I call Sarah my biz bestie because she and I are kindred sisters because we know that we're entrepreneurs in spirit and we're striving to do our best in this solopreneur world. And it's nice to have a friend, and Sarah's my very good friend in this course journey that we're on. And so Sarah, third's a charm, right?
Yes.
Third's a charm. So how did you come to do this? I know you love knit and crochet, so that's how we met. And
Yes.
and you did some social media management because you did some schooling with it, and now bath bombs.
Yeah, I was a little bit at a low point at the end of last year, and I started praying about what I should do. I wasn't sure if I should keep knitting and crocheting and working on that. It's kind of hard to do when you have a toddler that wants to pull the yarn and all that fun stuff. So I was just praying a lot, and baths are my thing. Like, I take a bath almost every day, even if I take a shower, just because it's like pain management for me, and it's just a time to have some me time. And I was just thinking about bath bombs, and it just kept popping in my head. And I was like, I wish I could afford bath bombs on a stay-at-home mom income. So I just kind of kept praying about it and took the idea and ran with it. So that's why my logo has the crucifix in the corner, because it came with prayer. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that story because I did notice that. I remember when you were at that low point, you were like, you're at the point where you want to just, you're basically burnt out is what it comes down to. And
yeah,
that's how, that's the upside to entrepreneurship and solopreneurship is that we get to dictate our time and our energy. We have full control. We don't have a boss over us. That is, you know what I mean? The downside of that is that we are the only commodity. So if we're not paying attention to how we self-care and how we manage our spirit and our physical bodies and our mental state, and if we're not managing any of that,
yes.
burnout will always be inevitable. And when you have burnout, that's the end of your entrepreneurship. That's the end of your solopreneurship,
Yeah,
right?
I'm a tough boss on myself. So
Yeah. And we're exactly, well, we are because we're managing ourselves. We're the boss, so we have to, you know what I mean? So we're the toughest on ourselves. And at the same, that's why, and then we don't, and that's why we're not taking care of ourselves the best because we're so tough on ourselves. So
yes.
it's a bad cycle unless you break it. And so I love that story. That's what a part of your self-care, and that's how the need becomes the want, and then the want becomes a desire, and if you don't act on that desire, that's where you spin outward. But I'm glad you figured out that it was a great way to move forward with it, you know what I mean, and know that that's what you love, and now you have that fire back in you, and
Yes.
that, you know what I mean, and when you started making these and putting them out, I was just like, I'm watching you rebrand and taking ownership of this new world, and I love it. It's like you always were doing it. It's like you had this natural instinct to that you've always done it.
Well, thank
So
you.
so let's how did you get started on this creative journey?
I just, like everything, I just started researching and kept praying about it. And like you said, third time's the charm. So I've kind of taken what I've learned from the other niches that I've done and kind of combined it all into one and said, if I would have known this when I first started Just Tricote probably 6 years ago now, if I would have known this now what would I've done when I first started. And so I kind of just took all that information, and I still do webinars and try and learn something every day, because there's so much to learn. You can't just learn it all in a month or so. So I'm still learning as I'm going. So it's super fun. But, just reading blogs, and I started a blog too, so I can kind of get some stuff out of my mind, so I'm not, always holding on to it. So it's been really fun. And I still do social media stuff for myself and for a few other accounts. I just don't do it as openly. And I still knit and crochet, so I do a little bit of everything. I'm very creative. I like creating, so I even cut my own hair, and I find makeup is another fun art to do too. So it's just always fun just to be creative.
I love it. I haven't been to a barber or a stylist. I don't even know what you call those people that cut hair because I haven't been to one in like 20 years.
Yeah.
So I too cut my own hair, right down to cutting my own bangs, but now I have a nice simpler hairstyle that I'm trying not to cut my own hair. So I'm trying to let it grow for a while, because for a while I couldn't grow my hair. So I've always had long hair, and then I couldn't grow my hair, and I kept cutting it. So then now I'm back to the same thing. So I had to cut my own hair too. So that's so funny.
That's how I was like, I'm gonna grow my hair out. It's gonna be awesome. Like, I see long hair, I'm just like, oh, I want it, and then I just cut 3.5 inches off.
I know. That's how I was in the bang cycle.
Yes.
I was like, I hate to love bangs. I don't know what my love-hate relationship with bangs, and then somehow it takes all my energy to do it, and then I curse it out every time, and then I can't get rid of it, and it gets to the state where it's perfect, and then it gets too long. I'm like, do I let it go or do I know? And then the next thing I know, 3 inches are off my bangs again, and I'm back in that reset state.
Yeah, a few months ago I had full bangs.
Now that I've been without it for the longest time, and once in a while bangs will pop up, and I'm like, oh, I love it. I'm like, do I? And I'm like, no, don't do it.
My philosophy is hair grows, so
right? Yeah. Yes, it does. So what is your big why for pursuing a solopreneur lifestyle?
Well, right now, I've always wanted to be my own boss. I worked in retail for many years and hated it. And then I did coding, and it was fun, but it still wasn't like fulfilling. And to have a small business, I think it's more fulfilling because you can create every aspect. You can, do all your branding, you can do your marketing, you do everything. So it really allows you to be unique and creative in all steps, and not just your product, but in everything. And I'm also a stay-at-home mom, so I can only mom so much. So I like to have a little bit of me time every day. So creating bath bombs allows me to be creative and allows me to be me and not just mom 24/7. So it's a good escape, and gives me a little bit of spending money. So
Yeah. So what is your making process?
I kind of just think of things. I grab my notebook and write it down. I do my best thinking in the bathtub. So if something pops up, I'm like, oh, I should try that. Then when I'm done, I just jot it down. And then when I have time, I create something. So my first bath bomb that I ever did was the sweet orange and rosemary. I was just kind of experimenting with some of the dried stuff that I got, and that's what it looks like. And this has become one of my most popular scents as well. It's nice and fresh and energizing. And so I just kind of play around with stuff until I like the look of it. And if I don't like the look of it, I just use it, and then I go from there. So,
and just talking about that orange, I think orange is the scent that I got from, because
yes.
Sarah and I collaborated, and she has a yarn treasure set that's a bath bomb for the crocheters, right?
Yes.
Because I created a pattern for a soap holder for her, and it goes inside that little bath bomb. And there's a little talk about yarn treasures, because or paper treasures, because you have treasures inside each bath bomb.
Yes, most of them have something inside of them. There's still some plain ones, but they're just like a little holder like this, and it can have a quote, or some of them have rosaries, just a little bitty like decade rosary, or it has a little trinket. I'm collaborating right now with you and Ruth of 12 Square Creations, and then I'm also doing a bath bomb with Esther from the Purple Cove, and she makes polymer clay jewelry. So these are little beads that you can put on a chain and make into a necklace. And this is the bath bomb that those come in.
It's gorgeous.
Yes,
Your bath bombs knocked it out of the park with her brand. With Esther's branding. It's gorgeous. It's like they were made with each other. For each other. That's so awesome. All of these bath bombs are in Sarah's shop, and the link is below, so definitely go check that out. And this is the soap holder. I don't know if you can see. Can you see the glare? This is the soap holder that I designed for it, and it's super. Oh, look at and Sarah's business card is in there. And you basically put soap in there. And then use it. It's 100% cotton is what I recommend, but you can use anything, acrylic or whatever. And you basically, it becomes a handle, and then you use it to like a scrubby, and then as the soap dissolves, and then you could take it out, wash this, and then back to, new soap, same soap, whatever. And it's awesome. And I'm so glad that you gave me the opportunity to create this pattern. And it's also a nice little purse. So all you have to do is increase the numbers, and you can make yourself a handbag with it.
Yes. And you can even put your stitch marker on there too from Ruth.
And Ruth's stitch marker is a part of Ruth's stitch marker is a part of this set. And I use her stitch marker all the time too. And speaking of your bath bomb too, that was an awesome bath that I took with your bath bomb. I mean, it smelled wonderful. My skin was so soft. It's not like those bath bombs where you have to throw 5 bath bombs in just to feel anything, It's really, really good and very luxurious. So Pampered Treasures is the perfect name for this brand of yours. Do you have any tips for newbie makers?
Just be yourself. That's all that you need to do, and everything will fall into place. If you try and copy people, it will show in your work, and if you're not yourself, it'll show. People can see right through it. So you just have to be you, and if you feel like you're weird or quirky or whatever, people are gonna love it. So just be you. So there's only one of us, so why be someone else, right?
Right. It's funny because, talking about the topic of people loving you, we have this tendency as human beings to only focus on the negative. Mm-hmm. So you can have 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, you know what I mean? 20 people love you, but yet one person coming into your world that disagrees with you, doesn't like you, and all of a sudden they've occupied 10 hours of your time, 12 hours of your time, a whole weekend, a whole week, a whole month, a whole year. How is that possible? You know what I mean? And yet, so it's like, why, if you focus on the one, you know what I mean? Like, don't worry about, there are people that love you for you. Be yourself. Don't worry about adjusting yourself to everybody else, because you're always going to find that one, and why give the power to any one person?
Yeah, don't be afraid to use the block button.
Exactly. Now that might be your better tip.
Yes.
For a newbie, that might be your better tip. Don't be afraid to use the block button. Don't be afraid to use the delete button, because I always say never focus on, I'm like, it's one person on the internet who isn't, if they're not riding the ride with you, first of all, they don't get a say. That's period. Like, if they're not in the car with you on your journey, they don't get to tell you where your route is going. They don't get to navigate for you, you know? And so that's exactly what you do when you allow anybody on social media.
Yes.
Teach her your course. That might be the block button might be the better tip. Do you have any habits or rituals that you do daily?
I just started praying the rosary daily because I found a lot of amazing Instagram feeds from starting Pampered Treasures. I would have never come across these people if I would have never done Pampered Treasures. So it's even more close to my heart because it's gotten me closer to my faith by doing bath bombs, which is, it's so funny how everything works. And there is a feed called Many Hail Marys at a Time, and she just had her 7th baby, I think, and she does the rosary every morning at 6:45 Central Time, I think. I'm Eastern, so it's at 7:45 for me. But so I started doing that daily, and I've just noticed such a big change. And I try and work out almost every day, but got in a slump. But I'm getting back to that. And I probably can't go the whole entire day without jamming out to some kind of music. Usually it's Broadway. I even work out to Broadway because I'm super awesome like that. But not many people would say Broadway is their first choice to work out to, but
it's the first time I heard it.
It's energizing to me. Especially like the Greatest Showman track, like perfect to run to. It's awesome.
But when you think about it, anybody on stage performing, that's an athlete right there.
Yeah.
That's an athlete. I mean, I'm not a stage person by any means, but I know that that's work and that's energy.
When I did flute in high school, I was first chair, and so sometimes I would get solos, and just to like, when they'd say, okay, it's time to walk out, I'd be like, I don't want to, like, can we just pass over this song? But yeah, music is definitely a big part of life. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. So you actually touched on this, but how do you invest in yourself?
Just self-care. I mean, you can do whatever, listen to music, work out, take a bath. You have a spot at home. You just, you don't have to spend tons of money to love yourself.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of get caught up in that. Retail therapy is definitely fun, but we don't have to spend tons to feel great.
And the other thing is you educate yourself because you watch a lot of webinars.
Yes,
awesome. I'm a huge webinar person myself because it's one of the best ways for me to learn. If you can pick up 3 great tips from somebody for an hour, you know what I mean? By watching one of their free webinars, like you're already steps forward, without having to pay into anything. And then if you happen to like somebody, you know what I mean, from those webinars and you can invest, I'm always go for it if you can.
Yeah, I'm doing life coaching right now, and I'm like a third of the way through that. It's a pretty long program. Not to do it financially, but just to find tips for myself, because I think it helps you grow. And I don't know what I'm going to do next, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Talk about your bath bombs. Let's show everybody what kind of.
Yeah. Let's see. This was one of the most recent ones I did. They're all wrapped up, so they won't make a mess.
We could see them.
This is honeysuckle and the pink Himalayan salt, which actually everyone voted on. I gave them 3 different choices, and this was the winner. And the honeysuckle I actually handpicked and dried myself. So I try and do that with as many of the flowers and stuff that I can get. I have a dehydrator now. In that. So we have lots of things growing in the garden, so I'll be able to offer more like fresh herbs and stuff like that. I have the rosary treasure, which this was the treasure that started it all. Even though I did the orange and the rosemary first, but this was the first idea that I had was with the rosary. And I love shiny things, so that's why I picked these rosaries. They're a little bit like pearly looking. So they're just pretty. They go with any color. And I got this idea because back in the day when I was little, around First Communion, so it would have been like 19 years ago, I was given a little bitty rosary like this, and I carried it everywhere because I love many things. And it's just so easy to take with you. And so I figured, even if we all had 1,000,000 rosaries, you can never have enough. And this could go in your car. You can carry it in your pocket. And whenever you're feeling anxious or anything, you just need a little pick-me-up, you have it right here. So that's where that came from. Another one of my favorite ones and a customer favorite is lavender with the Himalayan salt as well. It's just really relaxing, and it's good when you've had a long week and you just need a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to stick to more natural looking things. So when you use my bath bombs, they're not going to be like Lush or something like that, where it's like super crazy, colorful, and powerful. I am going to offer some of those, but mostly everything is more natural and softer colors. So you won't get super crazy bath art, but the whole point is to pamper yourself and to relax and not have soak in crazy colors.
Yeah.
So this one is one of my favorites. It's just dried flowers and lavender and rosemary, and it's not scented. So you just get the scent from the dried flowers. So this is one of my favorites because it just feels pretty. And then this also has a little rosary inside. This is a First Communion treasure, but you can also use it for baptisms or confirmation or anything like that. And it has a little rosary and a quote inside. This one is just a rose one. Rose is another popular scent. And if you know anyone that has a birthday coming up, I do birthday treasures with real sprinkles and glitter, and it smells like birthday cake too. So it's super fun. And inside there's either a teeny little donut or a cupcake, depending on which one you get. They're all a surprise. So, and it also has happy birthday inside, but you can also customize as well. So if you have a friend across the country and you want to send her something, just get with me and we can get her a little bath bomb, and gives her a way to pamper herself and celebrate.
That's a great birthday gift idea. I love that. Do all your bath bombs have something inside them?
Most of them, yes.
So not all of them, but most of them do.
Yeah, and you can, if you order a bath bomb, there's many options online on my store that don't have anything inside of them, but you can always add an inspirational message or a custom message as well. So
those are great offers. I love all those ideas. Talk to us, you mentioned a little bit, talk to us about your other sets that your shop has.
I've expanded a little bit, not too much. I don't have everything with me because mostly everything is made to order, so it's as fresh as possible. These are cuticle oils, but you can also use it in your hair and on your body. And I researched the best oils to use for different types of things like this. So this is apricot and grapeseed oil, which they both have fast absorption rates. I never knew that about oils before I started researching, because I know I'm not a big lotion person because I always feel greasy and oily, and I don't like that. So with these oils, they absorb fast and they moisturize all day without that greasy feeling. So I've also customized some of my products to how I feel too, because I do not like feeling greasy. And I also have sugar scrubs, which is amazing to use before you shave. I've also found this out. If you exfoliate before you shave, you get a much closer shave, and my legs have never been so smooth. So it's pretty fun. And I also do whipped lotions, body butters, and I'm really up to anything. So if there's something that you can't find or that you want, I think I'm going to be doing some bath salts soon with dried flowers in them. And this I'm going to be debuting in June 1st. So you get to see. I sent one to Stephanie when I did the bird of the treasure for her sale. But this one has a flamingo soap in it. I experimented with soap. So it's goat milk soap, the flamingo is, and then inside the bath bomb. So you'll get a little bit of bubbles, but not too crazy.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going to be debuting that in June.
Oh my gosh, so
I've had it made for like 3 weeks now, and every day I'm like, should I post it? I'm dying.
that is genius. That is so genius. I absolutely love that. You guys, this is releasing in August, so it's already in her shop, so go check it out if that flamingo is calling to you. Sarah, that's awesome. Wow, I can't believe all this came about. We're filming this at the end of May. It's releasing in August, but you started this in January.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I want you guys to picture this time frame right now and where you're at, because you weren't making your own bath bombs.
Yeah.
Prior to this. It's not like you've been making it for a while and you're like, oh, I think I'm going to go make some and sell some. No, you took a brand new love and you researched it and you ran with it.
Yes.
And you experimented and you took you took polls, and you know what I mean? And that's just how you're running your business right now. And I absolutely love that you're testing and you're like, these are all great tips for anybody that is on a journey from start, when you're considering starting. Because before this, in January, she was just going to give it all up and not do anything. And in December, and then in January, we're at a brand new business and a brand new niche and with a brand new product, and the things that you're coming up with, like you just saw those, like I'm just blown away. This is why she's like my bestie, because I'm just blown away by her speed and her determination. I'll get texts in the morning, like first thing at like 6-7 o'clock in the morning, go, hey, what do you think of this? Boom. And you're like, oh my God, like I just rolled over. I haven't even showered yet. And she's like messaging me about ideas. Like, so that means her brain would have had already been cycling and circling before she reached out to me for feedback. And it's just, it amazes me. And you're a mom to how old is baby?
She will be 2.5 in July.
So this is not a self-dependent little child that you've got.
No.
And so you have all this under somebody that you are with 24-hour care.
Yeah. I mostly try to do it when she's napping, which is rare. She's never wanted to nap. So I say, why don't we do some arts and crafts, and she'll paint or do a little craft or watch her little videos online. And she's been obsessed with princesses, so that's helped a little bit. And then she always comes over and goes, that smells good. So she's my tester. So if it smells good to her, then I know everyone's going to like it.
Awesome. You guys, we're wrapping this up, but I want to tell you, so we mentioned Esther with the Purple Cove that I did do a creative interview with. So I will link that at the bottom of this video, so you can go check out Esther's interview also, and with Sarah. So I'm sure our friend Esther will be very happy to hear this.
Yes, and Ruth, she's part of the Yarn Treasure.
Yes, I will definitely link to Ruth too, which I'm still trying to get her to do an interview with. So maybe after this video, you know what I mean? Maybe we can get her to do an interview with us, and then we can link all those up with.
Yes. My other tip is, do not be afraid of lives. Just don't be afraid of it. Do it. They're so fun. Be
afraid. What was that again?
Don't be afraid to do a live on Instagram.
Yes.
Do it. I was always scared to death of the camera, and actually when I did Unique, it got me, because my upline was like, you have to do a live to sell anything. And I was like, I don't want to be on the camera. And I'm the shyest person you ever know. Like, it doesn't seem like it, but I am. But being able to talk on camera, you know, you might mess up. That's okay. You just keep going. There's a delete button, you know. So I've had lives where I've like totally messed up, and I end it and say, bye, restart, or, you know, do it the next day. But lives bring another whole aspect to your stuff that people can't see through pictures.
Yes.
So don't be afraid. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get too.
The more you do it, definitely the more comfortable you get. And the first one will always stink. The first, like everything else in life, the first time will always stink. You know what I mean? Like we're not born perfect. We're not, you know what I mean? Nobody knows how to do anything. Anybody that you're admiring, they all had a first step. It's literally like a toddler trying to learn to walk. That's what we are. Toddlers learning to walk at every new venture that we try to do. And live is one of those quick ways of, I don't know, I don't have my water spray right now. I usually leave one here, you know, that little clear bottle that go, psh, 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 you know, that makes them terrified, but I don't know what is going on with them. This is Indy, by the way, Independence, who's not looking very independent right now. But so doing lives like is the best way to push you forward and catapult you.
There you go, babe.
You sense the dog in the video.
Yes.
See how kids and dogs work.
Yeah, but lives are definitely good. And then if you ever want to inspire yourself, scroll down to your first picture that you ever did on Instagram and just scroll through, and you will see yourself improve. Mm-hmm. It's a documented process of improvement. So whenever you're feeling down, just do that. Jam to some music, pray, do all that fun stuff, and you're good.
Love it. This is awesome. Sarah, I had a blast. Thank you so much for doing this again.
Thank you for having me again.
This is amazing. Okay, so all of our links are below. Check everything out and go grab yourself a bath bomb. Treat yourself. Seriously, treat yourself. You know, and
share your code. Don't forget to share your code.
Oh yes, my code.
Yes.
I have a discount code at the bottom of this link that you have to use to get off. What is the percentage?
10, I think, or 15. One of them.
Yeah, one of the percentages. So definitely use my code. Save yourself some money.
Yes.
Thank you for that. I think Indy is throwing me off. See, that's the thing about having dogs on the set.
Yes.
Yes, definitely use the link is below. Use the code and go treat yourself. This has been amazing. You guys, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to share this video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. And speaking of channels, Sarah just started a channel on YouTube, so I will link that also. It's probably popping up any second now to go right to her channel, and you can see the bath bombs in action.
Yes.
Which I absolutely love that idea. That will
say hi to me.
Mm-hmm.
Come say hi.
Go say hi to her and tell her if you don't see anything that you like, she'll be happy to take any special orders, and she loves ideas, so she's a tester, so you know what I mean. Anytime you throw anything out at her, Sarah will try it at least once. That's what I love about this lady. She will try it at least once.
I will.
All right, guys. Until next time, God bless. Bye.
Bye.